Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing the all-new Jeep Wagoneer L. I'm finally going to have a chance with the larger version of the Wagoneer. Before we get in this video though, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Doug Smith Dodge Ram Jeep Chrysler here in Spanish Fork, Utah for giving me some time with this Wagoneer. This particular one is still available for sale, so if you're interested, I'll include a link to their website in the description down below. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money, the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below as well. Let's get into it. Powering the Wagoneer L is a twin-turbo 3-liter inline-6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy 16 around town and then 23 on the highway, with power outputs being 420 horsepower and then 468 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we go over the front end, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. And now taking a look at the hood itself, you guys can see it's flat here in the center, then it kind of falls off on either side. Then of course got the Wagoneer logo there. Really cool daytime running lights here with the headlights. And then we of course have Jeep's signature front grille here. There's a camera there in the center. And then you can see it's all blacked out here at the bottom as well. And you got some fog light action there with some more parking sensors. Not sure why I said more parking sensors, but anyways, here's the front end of the Wagoneer L. Let me know what you think. Coming around the side here, tire wheel setup is 275, 55, 20 in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you guys can see here with the wheel design, notice they've got like the silver on the outside and then it's kind of darker there in the center. Now I've got these black painted fender flares, of course another Wagoneer badge. Fixed side steps on this one, and then notice the trim around the windows is all black except there's that chrome strip there at the top. And then here's your full side view with the L. You can kind of tell the difference between this and a regular Wagoneer. Like it does look a little bit longer. It's got a little bit more booty. Now here's our key fob. We have our unlock function or lock function, remote start, the opening for the hatch, then that's for the air suspension to drop it down, and then of course Wagoneer there on the back. Now popping into the rear, this right here is why you get the Wagoneer L. You guys can see there's tons of cargo space behind the third row, right? It's crazy. But notice we've got even more storage underneath. And then you can see here we can fold down the second row. The third row we can fold it down and raise it up. But yeah, I mean, looking at this, it's just like the Suburban or the Yukon XL, right? Any of the full-size SUVs with the extended versions. Ah, got the button on the inside. Always trips me out because most manufacturers will put it on the hatch. But you guys will notice this one's a Series 3, hence the badge. And then you got the taillights here, which I'm a huge fan of. Then, of course, Wagoneer yet again. There's not a single Jeep badge here on the outside. They're really going hard with the Wagoneer brand. And you guys can see the bezel covering the receiver hitch. But wrapping things up, let me know what you guys think about the L so far, especially the looks. I think it actually really works here with the overall shape and design. Now popping over to the door panel, you guys can see we've got sunshade here from the factory, and then look at this trim that goes across. Then you can see the padding and stitching down below, little window control, and then this one has the Alpine sound system. Now we're actually gonna start things off in the third row here. So legroom is really good in the third row of the Wagoneer, and then you guys can see the little controls here for the seats, and then also for our seat itself here. And then you got some USB action, got a vent back here, a little cup holder as well. And these seats actually look really nice here in the back, so I think that's a big plus. And for those of you wondering, headroom's also really good. And now in the second row, also really good legroom. You can see the storage pocket, lots of vent action. Also here in the center, we've got our own climate zone here in the back. We've got heated seats. We've got a bunch of charging ports. This one has the captain chair configuration, so we've got 2 here in the middle. And again, the seats here are really nice as well. And don't worry, headroom, it's also good here. Now the front door panel is literally identical to the back one, but notice all the windows automatic, which is pretty cool. Got your mirror adjustment, memory seats, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors as well. And then taking a look at the front seat here, you can see the leather trim was perforated all down the center portion. Power adjustments here on the side, and we got light control action here, pedal adjustment, and then the steering wheel is power adjustable as well. And then I like this here, I think the trim looks cool. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you guys can see really nice trim all around. Of course, Wagoneer there in the center. We've got our little gear limiter right there. And then we got our cruise control, adaptive cruise control as well. Radio controls on the back of the steering wheel, and then some controls for the center stack. And you got your regular stalks here on the back. Now we've got this full digital gauge cluster here in the center. And if you've seen my other Wagoneer reviews, then you'll kind of know this whole gauge cluster setup. Pretty cool. I like how you've got like the map view rather. If it'll load. There we go. Now I just have to wait for it to load. But anyways, we do have some drive modes. We've got a sport mode. Comes with cool animation auto, snow, sand, mud. And we also have a rock mode, but you have to be in 4-wheel drive low to enter into rock mode. Now this Wagoneer has a 360 camera system, as you can see, which is pretty cool. Really good resolution overall, and I like the zoom function. Now as for the rest of the infotainment system, first off, on the side you can see little shortcuts for heated and cooled seats, which actually we're going to do the cooled seat right there. But anyways, it does take a second for some of the pages to load up here with the screen, but overall response time is pretty solid. And you guys will notice this one has the passenger screen, so it's just right there. It's basically a secondary infotainment system, mostly for like radio and stuff. And then you do have analog controls here for like the climate down below, and then analog radio controls as well. So I'd say a really good setup. And while we're in this area, look at the dash. Got nice leather trim all over. Now if we press this up here, you guys can see this is like our charging area, so wireless phone charging pad, bunch of USBs as well. And then in front of it, lots of dust. That's what happens with piano black. You can see auto stop, start, lane departure, stability control, and then you get your parking assist, parking sensors, tow haul mode, and then passenger screen. There's lots of ways to turn on that passenger screen, which is kind of interesting. Drive mode select right here. Got the dial shifter, and then this is your air suspension to raise and lower it. We also have 4-wheel drive low because it's got 2-speed transfer case, and we have hill descent control. So you got some lid action here over the cup holders, and then we got the passenger window with the center console, and then opening it up, it's really big. Truck center console. Basically, I do like the padding here on the top, and then over here at the glove box, really good storage space with that. And again, I think the design here is really good. And then up top, we don't have a center for anything like that. So here's our window sticker for this Wagoneer L. You guys can see the base MSRP $77,220. Now we do have a few options added to this one, like the convenience group, the captain chairs, all that. After all options, this one stickers for $85,900. Let's see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility of the hood, both mirrors, do a blind spot monitoring, and then throughout the rest of the rear, and Wagoneer away, I suppose. I don't imagine this is going to drive different from the regular Wagoneer, but I just wanted to check. The biggest thing with these, longer vehicles is typically just a little bit more difficult to park because, well, it's a longer vehicle. I'm going to turn on that cooled seat. I will say sometimes the screen lag on modern, it's not just this car. I've noticed a lot of modern cars, it just takes a second for stuff to load up. But I mean, it's honestly not too bad. Pretty simple system to use though, which I think is the cool part. But first thing to note is the seats are actually really comfortable. I think they've done a really good job with that. Drives smooth through the parking lot, at least. We'll see once we get up here and move, especially over the train tracks. The train tracks are a really good show of suspension comfort with the vehicle. I like the size of this. It's got this like truck feel to it. I mean, it is a truck-based SUV. Good torque. I was so comfortable with the train tracks. That's where that air suspension comes in. Funny enough, I actually have a Mercedes GLE 63 as a tester this week, and this has better suspension than the Mercedes when it comes to comfort. So it just shows you how well tuned this is. So I think that's definitely a big plus. And then aside from that, the engine's really quiet. This new inline six, and it's got some pep in its step, that's for sure. I mean, it moves. I mean, I really don't have anything negative to say about the powertrain. I know a lot of people like V8s, and yeah, I get the simplicity part, right? Reliability, all that kind of stuff. But inline sixes, it seems like they're starting to become more and more popular because for some reason, it seems like you can get good power out of them compared to, turbo V6s, and the reliability just seems to be better with inline sixes versus V6s, at least when you turbocharge them. Yeah, it's just got so much torque that you really don't have to get into it all that much. It's just like light throttle. So again, that's the big benefit of a turbocharged engine, especially here at high elevation. You get less power loss with this versus a naturally aspirated engine. This is got to be the most boring drive. Use your turn signal. I hate it when people do that. But yeah, so I guess summing things up here at the L, I'm not really noticing like a huge driving dynamic difference between this and the regular Wagoneer, so I don't want to waste your guys' time. So basically, if you just want more space, that's what the L provides. It's just a Wagoneer with a bigger booty and more space, more junk in your trunk, right? But outside of that, let me know what you think about this compared to the Suburban. I think that's a pretty interesting comparison. This kind of feels more like luxury inside compared to the Suburban, especially with some of the touch points. But I think some people might choose one or the other because of styling. The Suburban has like a sportier style, whereas this, again, it's got like Jeeps, like more kind of, they're going for more of like a luxury look. But let me know which one you'd choose.